1.
People, it'd be awesome. So we'd love it if you would do that for us. Of course, don't forget, you can always go to any streaming service and pick up old episodes of Friday at 420, including a few that have our special guest today on those episodes. We're really lucky and happy to have him back. But first, we got to introduce the panel to get the show started on this Tuesday at 4:09. And here we go with my life coach and mentor, Mr. Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Patrick.
How are you?
What's going on, buddy?
Not much.
Yeah.
A lot, actually. It's a busy month. It's crazy.
It's a crazy month.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Patrick? Nothing. A lot. Can you figure it out for sure? What's the absolute answer now? Let's try again.
It's a lot.
From the top. Hey, Patrick, what's going on?
A lot is going on.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's busy. Levity's crack-a-lacking.
Yeah, it's between the club and family stuff, and I do like editing work and stuff like that. So it's just there's a lot this month going on right now. I haven't even. I still gotta do my Christmas shopping. I'm running out of time.
But now the really exciting part is, and I was thinking about this today. It looks like we're going to get the John Doerr shows in before there's another lockdown.
Yeah,
because I think another lockdown is coming.
I thought for sure, like once I started seeing the numbers going up last week, like once we crossed 1,000 again, and now we're like, creeping up to 2,000 a day. I'm like, oh my God, like what are the odds? Like again, like within days of doing the John Doerr shows, we get closed again. I think if anything would happen, like if anything happened within the next, like before Friday, maybe capacity decrease, but I don't think so.
You're gonna be good. I'll just say it right now. Even if they came in with something on Friday, it wouldn't probably take effect till Monday. You'll be fine. Yeah. John Doerr this weekend, Friday and Saturday at Levity Comedy Club.
Get COVID.
It's called the To Hell with Omicron show.
Yeah, and Mayce Galoni will be on it.
What? If only we had Mayce on the show today to talk to him about this exciting development. That would be fantastic. Before we introduce Mayce and find out how things are going with him, we really should say hello to he's right out of the Las Vegas Lounge. He's a Las Vegas Lounge singer, Manola Zontanos.
How you doing, buddy? Ticanis.
Take a knee, my friend. It's been a while since you said take a knee.
Yeah, take a knee.
Yeah.
I was in my church yesterday. I was doing background work on a TV show. It's about and it was literally in my church. I haven't been into it for a while.
You weren't in your church to go to church.
I was making money doing background work. I was the only Greek person there, I think.
Yeah. Wow. What are they shooting in your church there? Is it some sort of Greek Orthodox documentary or something?
It's called Stolen Hearts, I believe it's called, and it's about this Greek father stealing his kids from the wife because they're not getting along. He goes to Athens, and I guess the laws are different, or it's like more favorable to the man in Greece, which is not surprising. And Greece is like 100 years back. If you ever been there, it's fucking wild, man. I feel like I'm going to go in a village and like music's not going to be allowed, and so then this mother goes and tries to get his kids back, and so they're shooting him in the church, seeing his kids, and I met the guy. He's like, it was cool. I forget his name. It was some weird Greek name, but the lead actor that steals the kids, he's like surprised. It's like, I go, Milais Linika? He's like, nah. He's like, yeah, I can speak Greek. I'm like, that's all I can say. And then
sorry to get your hopes up.
But yeah, so he was a nice guy.
So Manolis, just for clarity, you play one of the kids, obviously.
Yeah, I'm his son. I'm just background, like walking in and like coming to church. But I actually go up to this one picture of whoever, might have been Jesus or some saint. I do the cross and I kiss it. I'm the only one who did it because that's what you're supposed to do. And afterwards, after this one guy that's on the set, it's like, that was amazing. Did someone ask you to do that? Like, because I was in the show. I'm like, no. It's like, oh man, I don't know how you knew to do that. I'm like,
I'm an expert at the background work. I do my research.
Yes.
Damn it. Well, it's good
And
to
then
see
he
you,
sees you
Manolis.
kissing other stuff, all the other furniture and stuff. He's like, oh.
They're like, that's amazing. Why aren't you wearing pants?
All right, let's get to our very special guest on this episode of Friday at 420. He's helping open for John Doerr this weekend at Levity Comedy Club. He's the always funny and back home in Hamilton only for a short time, so he's decided to join us. Mr. Mayce Galoni!
Hello. But I don't know any other languages to say, but hello, everyone.
You never learned at least French? You know, bonjour? You don't.
I know. I mean, I guess
bonjour.
I guess I know bonjour. It just feels hacky to do it, but bonjour is fine.
You know nerd language?
Klingon? Can you say it in Klingon?
I'm sorry, Manolis, that I'm not enough of a nerd for you. I don't know international tax law. Does that mean I'm a jock? You're right.
If
I'm
you
a
don't-
jock
if
because I
you
can't do
if
your
you-
taxes.
Listen, if you can't save us, who the fuck can then? You ever think about that?
You're wearing a Nassau sweatshirt, for God's sakes. Come on,
Yeah, if-
man.
If you don't have
I'm
the
cold.
answers,
I'm weak. I'm not smart. I'm weak.
but I'm supposed to be the muscle and you're supposed to be the brains. So you're telling me I'm the muscle and both of us aren't the brains. That's what you're telling me.
You're both the dumbs. You just have to
before,
protect me.
Just before we came on live on Facebook, just so you know, we were discussing taxes and some tax questions, and Manolis was very upset that Mayce didn't know the answers.
Yes. I'm the one supposed to know nothing. That's it.
That's
I mean,
living up to your end.
I think I know stuff. I know more than you, Manolis. I know more than you.
Yeah,
I know
that's
what
the
you mean.
point. That's the point. So when I need information, when I finally need some information, I don't know that.
He gets
All right,
mad at people for not knowing things he also doesn't know.
Thank you, Patrick. Finally, Patrick makes some sense of it all.
Before we get to our game that we always play here on Friday at 420, we do have to catch up with our friend Mayce. Last time you were on the show, Mayce, I believe you were with Sophie, and you guys were coming to us live from LA. So did they kick you out? What happened?
No, actually. So the last time we were also in my mom's basement still, but we were
Oh,
heading
good.
to LA,
Okay.
and so they let us in, and we spent like the last month sort of getting set up there, got an apartment and stuff like that.
Excellent.
Yeah, but did a couple shows, not too much, mostly just kind of got set up and then had to leave and come back here, and then
For the
and then we'll be going
holidays.
down.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
but-
got any leads on stuff? Are you working some you got some developing some relationships down in LA, trying to make some stuff happen, man? What's going on?
I know.
Did Sophie open up for? Is she opening up for Nikki? What's her name? Last name?
Yeah, so
she did.
She did some shows with Nikki Glazer, and I think she has a couple more in the new year with her. And then she's doing like a bunch of really cool shows. And
She's a
Like-
smoke show, eh? I don't know if you can.
Sophie, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, your girlfriend. Yeah, I
Your
totally
girlfriend is a smoke
I
show.
totally
I-
want to bang your girlfriend. That's where I was going with this. conversation.
Manolis.
No, I don't want to bang his girlfriend. I'm talking about Nikki. You're
you
killing
don't
me,
think my
man.
girlfriend's a
Oh.
smoke show, Manolis?
I'll fuck your girlfriend just to make you happy. Is that what you want? Jesus Christ.
This thing has gone right into the ditch out of the get-go. Listen, Mayce.
Yes, Mike.
Was Sophie? I don't want to get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure she was on like the James Corden show or something.
She was.
Oh, yeah,
she
that
did her.
too.
Yeah, she did her late night debut, and it was like so good. Like just she crushed. It was insane to be in the room for too, because it was like she didn't the first like she like kind of she made a joke. She did she was like what did she say? She was like have you ever, like, she started her first joke and then she cut herself off and said, I mean hello, and it was like 3 seconds in and it got such a gigantic reaction, and then the rest of the set just
took-
crushed from there.
That's
So
awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when booking the show today, Manolis, what we weren't able to get Sophie, she's a big star. I'm sure.
She won't talk to me anymore because I keep trying to bang her.
Yeah. She's doing all this cool stuff. Macy's like, I moved to LA for In-N-Out Burger. I don't.
it is good. It is.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. I love
The
My
it.
big
favorite
thing-
part was Mayce owning up to the fact that even last time when we talked to him, he was still in his mom's basement. So
Yeah.
the LA thing.
I can't watch those sets because I get too like I couldn't watch her set on that show because I'm just too nervous. I
did
feel
well.
like,
You don't.
yeah, I'm sure I know, but like I feel like if I'm afraid I'm gonna watch it and she's not gonna do as good as she wanted, and it's I'm gonna feel the stress that she's, you know what I mean? But I believe that show went well. I'm so glad it went well, but I would have been stressed being there watching the recording.
Oh yeah,
You're so empathetic, you're the most empathetic person I know, I think, and that's probably what that is. But I think you can afford to watch the set. It went well. You have no worries.
Yeah.
So
now that you tell
now.
me,
Yeah,
I don't mind being in the moment, and I don't mind being the one tanking.
yeah, then nothing. You feel
if someone tanks in like any show, I leave the room.
It's tough. Unless you don't like that person, in which case then it's fun. But
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of uncomfortable comedy. I know a lot of the kids are these days, right? Even like the TV shows get really like super uncomfortable, and yeah, I struggle with that sometimes because I'm a pretty empathetic guy too. Maybe not as empathetic as Manolis, but whatever.
I don't know what what does that empathetic mean? But we'll talk about that later.
just overemphasize the pathetic part, buddy. Here we go. All right, it's time for Friday at 4:20. We're going to play our little game here with Mayce Galoni, our very special guest, opening this weekend for John Doerr at Levity Comedy Club. Any tickets still available for that gig this weekend? There,
yes. There's more tickets for the late shows left. Like the early show Friday is almost sold out already. A lot of tickets are gone for the late show Friday, and then same with Saturday early show. Saturday late show's got the most tickets. So,
LevityComedyClub.com. Get your tickets. John Doerr. Our good friend Mayce Galoni opens. It's going to be a hell of a night there at Levity Comedy Club. So go down and have yourself some fun. Great way to get into the Christmas spirit. I don't know why. All right. 12 envelopes that I stole from my former employer. They have 12 numbers on them. I've shuffled them. And now, Mayce, you get to pick a number between 1 and 12. We'll see if sometimes people can pick the one on top, but any one you want.
1.
Really? If I shuffled them. I can't tell you that.
One could still end up on top.
Yeah,
it could, but it's only a 1 in 12 chance that that's going to happen, right? And you know what? If one ended up on top, what's that?
It's the same odds that any of the numbers would end up on the top.
I know, but here's the thing, okay? Because here's the thing: if I shuffled them and one ended up on top, I'd probably keep shuffling, feeling like it wasn't done properly.
I agree with Mike on that one.
You probably would. I think most people probably would. It's like, did I really sell them?
You can't have one on the top because I would assume that no one.
That'd be ridiculous.
What number was it? On the top.
I'm not telling you what number it is. It's still on the top, so you can try and pick it next.
All right.
Here we go. Mayce, this is your question on Friday at 4:20. Society. This is a big question. Very general question. Society. Do you believe society needs more rules or fewer rules?
Oh.
Would society function better moving forward if we had more rules or fewer rules?
I see. The thing is I think fewer, but I also don't. I feel like I don't want to. There's a lot of people. I think fewer, but I don't want to like lend support to. There's most of the people that want fewer rules. They want rules to be gone that there should be, like
right,
not smoking indoors and
speeding
probably
wherever you want, whatever.
Yeah. So it's like I want fewer rules, but sensibly. Like I used to be consider myself like a libertarian, and when I turned 19, I was gonna vote libertarian on the first election I was allowed to. There was a libertarian candidate in Binbrook, and then I went there to vote for him, and it turned out that he was taken off the ballot because he didn't file his paperwork in time. Like he forgot about it because he was also 19.
Oh,
so so I don't. I guess fewer, but I don't know. I don't know enough about.
You know what? That's perfectly, and it's perfectly fair to say that I just don't. I don't know which ones they'd be, but I just feel like a society that where we are left to rule ourselves more, or a society where there are more restrictions so that we can't get out of line. And I guess that's instead of thinking of individual rules, I'm really kind of thinking, do we do a good job of policing ourselves, or do we need more rules to police us?
Yeah, I guess I lean towards less rules, but then as soon as someone like tries to butt in line at the grocery store to me, I'm like, we should have communism, I think.
Yeah.
Excellent answer. Manolis, what do you think? More rules, fewer rules? What do you think? A society as a whole, would you rather live, and I'm not saying it would make it better or worse. I'm just saying, would you rather live in a society that had more rules, where everything was like, kind of laid out, or fewer rules and we all just find our own path?
I would definitely say less rules, but certain ones. One rule I would want is that I don't know if you make it. I want it to be. I want physical assault to be allowed. Like I want.
This is what I was talking about. I don't want to support this.
I want if you can prove that the person that you wanted to fight, if it goes to court, that hey, I deserve to be able to get fight this guy because he was an asshole, then that's allowed. Then I don't get charged with assault. Like assault should be allowed because I think too many people don't they feel too comfortable. They think like, oh, I'm gonna be a fucking asshole right now. What are you gonna do? You're gonna hurt me? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking hurt you. Like that's I think like there should be like in your car, you can hit you can dial the plate number, and if I get 10 calls a year. So if I call that plate number, that car has to pull over and I get to fight that guy too. You get 10 a year. So it won't go crazy. So you don't know how I'm out of calls, which I probably would be, but there'd be that. And then I would make all drugs would be legal because I like the idea of having having people that have more problems than me. I like that. And smoking cigarettes should be allowed anywhere. You should be allowed to smoke a cigarette anywhere in the fucking world. This
is why we can't have less rules. Why?
You know why? You know why? Because it's a legal product made by the government. The government's saying, here's these cigarettes that you can buy at a rice store. They're illegal. But you can't smoke it here, here, and here. Well, you know what? Either sell them or don't. Either make it against
okay. Manolis, and I understand what you're saying, but the only thing is, Manolis, I think that the government has been it's been a slow process, but the government has been trying to weed people off of cigarettes. You can't, if you just went, you know what, we don't like smoking, and just took cigarettes away, then you would be getting in a lot of fights because there'd be a lot of people fighting.
Well, fighting's allowed though, Mike.
That's true. In the Noli world, it's allowed.
He's thought this through.
Eventually, you wouldn't die. Here's the thing. If we took all cigarettes away, no one would die. In fact, more people would live. Less people would die.
I don't know how you got there.
Yeah, if physical assault was legal and you can smoke anywhere you like, more people will live.
I want
longer.
people if smoking wasn't allowed, you couldn't die from not smoking, and more people would live longer because they'd be healthier. Smoking, my beef with smoking is like either allow people smoke wherever they want. People get in my car and they're like, I don't smoke. I'm not smoking right now, Mike. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know I was smoking, but people get in my car. It's like, and I'm like, I just have a cigarette before we go. I'm like, no, you can smoke in my car. He's like, why? I'm like, it's a legal product made by the government. What do you mean? What do you mean you can't smoke? Why? If I say you can't smoke in my car, I'm going against the government.
He actually insists that you ash on the ground of his car too.
Yes, on the floor.
Like on the floor. He won't. He doesn't want you to ash it out the window.
Well, it's summertime. It's okay, but it's cold.
Yeah, in the winter, you're like, put up the window, ash on the fucking floor, you idiot.
This is a perfect time for a quick shout out to whoever wrote the article. And Patrick, you shared it. I shared it on Instagram. Whoever it was at McMaster, what's the radio? CFMU, McMaster Radio. What was it? McMaster Radio. Somebody wrote about the podcast, local podcast.
Oh, yeah. That was.
I think it was, and I don't know who wrote that. I was looking to see who wrote it. It looked like, but
that was Justin Shaw's thing. I think his new radio show. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, they wrote a nice piece, and they were talking about podcasts that were local, and they talked about our podcast. Yeah. And the one thing, and that's why I wanted to bring it up right now, because the one thing they said in that podcast, they were very nice. They said nice things about me and nice things about Patrick and our guests that come on, but then they tagged it with, and then Manolis, who's the agent of chaos. And it's like, bam, there you go. Agent of chaos has spoken again.
I didn't even read that article.
It was great, man. It was absolutely great. And we really appreciate them doing that and telling people to check out Friday at 420, which we really appreciate. Okay, Patrick, the agent of chaos has spoken. Now it's your turn. More rules or less rules in our society?
Well, I don't know. After the last 2 years of all the whining and bitching on the internet, I say more rules. Take away all our rights. All of them.
Including the right to go on social media.
Yeah, take them all. I just want to see all those people just like really know what it feels like to have your rights. No,
Stripped.
I don't know.
Stripped away.
It depends, right? Because if there's no, like, look at like the Nazis made their own rules, right?
Right.
There were some benefits from all those fucked up experiments they did, right? Aren't they kind of credited to some modern science advancements?
I don't think anybody likes to talk about
that really
it,
got streamlined because of Dr. Mengele and his human trials.
Yeah, there was.
Is that a real name?
I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Isn't it Dr. Mengele?
That was
Mengele
Dr.
or
Death,
something?
I believe.
Yeah.
His nickname was Dr. Death.
Like, it was
so not a good
terrible what
guy.
he did, but didn't they actually like learn some valuable things?
Well,
about...
all along, I mean, there's been lots of examples, not just that one, but lots of examples of people who did horrible experiments. I mean, we did horrible experiments in mental institutions and stuff like that. I mean, we learned a lot. I just saw a documentary the other day, and they were talking about some of the things that we did to dogs to understand electricity better. And it's like, oh,
what's a lobotomy? What's that again? They just drill a hole in your brain or something?
Yeah, and kind of disconnect it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them try that with you.
They're like, it's it. He's had 3 already.
They go, wait, we've done this a million times. No one's ever gotten smarter.
All right. You know what? We're going to move on. Manoli, it's your turn to pick a topic. Pick a number between 1 and 12, but not number 1. That was Mayce's.
Number 2.
Oh, we're just going to go in order. Why did I even bother shuffling? All right.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh, my God. Number 2 was at the bottom, for God's sakes. Holy mackerel.
It could have been on the top. It depends what way you put them down on the table.
This is an interesting question, and I'm a first here on Friday at 420. I'm going to ask the other 2 guys first before I ask the agent of chaos to answer this question. So, Mayce, I'm going to start with you, okay?
Sounds good.
Who would you go to for advice on buying appliances?
Buying appliances.
Who in your life would you go to for advice if you had to buy an appliance of some kind for the house and you thought, I just don't really know much about that? Who would you go to for that advice?
Well, I guess Manolis. What, does a fleshlight count as an appliance?
Damn right I did.
No, I guess I don't know. My stepdad's pretty handy.
Okay, there you go, stepdad.
Yeah, I mean, my sister and I were looking at toilets online today because she broke ours with a poop.
Oh wow!
And we had no idea. We were trying to figure out if it's better to have an elongated one or a circular one, and then that was how I found out that she stands to wipe every single time, which I found really weird. But her and I were both lost, so I don't know. Yeah, that's strange, right?
What do you mean stand up to wipe?
Like fully stands up to wipe and turns around. At one point, she's like, "Well, I turn around." I was like, "What are you turning around for?"
Her vagina? You're talking about?
No, poo.
Poo. No, the rear.
Oh wait, who's doing this? Wait, who's doing this?
My sister.
Mace's sister.
So wait, I stand up and wipe. Well, how do you wipe? What do you mean?
You would.
sit down.
There's a few people like that. I'm pretty sure Shazma said he does too.
Wait, you guys sit down and wipe?
Yeah, like a normal person.
Just give yourself a reach around, buddy.
I feel like you make it harder for standing.
You lean to the left and then like you wipe.
Why did you turn around? When you turn around, your ass also moves. It's not like you can turn around and face your ass.
I didn't say turn around. I do stand, but like, what do you?
Why? How is standing easier? I feel like it's your
clenches more.
I just want to know one thing though. So you put your hand into the toilet to wipe your ass?
No. Well,
sort of.
All the way.
Yeah. You like lean.
You
up.
lean.
So lean up like almost standing.
No, not
like,
even close.
No. Yeah. Feet.
No, I stand.
Legs
so
on the toilet.
I want to get a good wipe in. I wipe like I go past the rim when I wipe. I want to make sure I want a clean asshole.
You can still do that. How short are your arms?
I don't know.
But your
seems so
ass is
weird
as
to
far
stand.
away.
No, I don't feel like I just did a good job.
He's gonna
Like-
demonstrate. We need to see how does
How
this
much
happen?
force do you need? Do you like
Yeah.
smack the
I
toilet
like my. I
paper?
want to wipe my ass so good that it seems like I didn't even have a shit.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
He's going
Me
front
too.
to back. He's going all the way, man. Yeah.
Back
But
to
I'm
front.
not leaving, Eddie.
If I
I'm
have the
just
time,
sitting.
if I'm about to leave, if I take a shit before I leave, but I've already had to take a shower,
Uh-huh.
I will throw my ass underneath this sink, not like the hand sink.
Homemade bidet.
Yeah, I'll throw my ass under. I'll turn the water on in the tub, and like just
Yeah.
not the shower,
You
and
gotta do
I'll
whistle
I'll,
clean, man.
yeah, I'll give it a quick rinse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, in Manolis' world, you haven't wiped unless you've hit the tailbone. So I take it for right now. I'm just going to say, okay. So you said your
Right.
stepdad,
That's
right?
that's who we're gonna ask. Yeah, about
That's
this
who we're going to
toilet.
ask.
Yeah.
Excellent. I take it your sister doesn't watch this. She's not going to be happy with you sharing all that information.
There's a chance she's overhearing it from upstairs, but
Okay, well
She
that'll
should've
be
broke her
excellent.
she sounds normal to me.
If Mace suddenly Mace's feed goes dead, we know what's happened there. Patrick, who do you ask? Who would you ask if you needed advice on buying an appliance for your home? Who would you talk to? Is it?
Well, honestly, I swear to God, I was gonna say my dad, but if my childhood memory is being recalled correctly, he also stands when he wipes. So I don't know. Is that the line now where we're not trusting them on their opinion?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're sitting down, I don't even want to ask you. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. mate.
He certainly doesn't want to shake your hand because it's been in the toilet.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo sits down when he wipes.
I don't know. I guess it would depend on the appliance. Like I had to buy
Okay.
a bunch of new kitchen cookware set thing, and I would consult my mom for that.
Okay.
But if it was I guess something or with
That's
car
fair.
stuff, I usually ask my dad. But honestly, if it came to tools and stuff, Manolis has a lot of. I don't know if you've seen Levity, but he put a lot of stuff on the walls. He's got a lot of tools.
Yeah.
He knows what he knows what he's doing. So I'd probably ask him
Excellent.
for that stuff.
Those are very good answers. Now I'm going to go to the agent of chaos, who actually was inspired this question. Because the other day I was sitting around the kitchen table with my family, and suddenly I got a text from Manolis with a picture. He was inside a Canadian Tire asking me, "Is this a good price for a vacuum cleaner?"
Yeah.
And I thought, am I the person you go to for advice on appliances, Manolis?
You're one of 5.
I'm in a rotation, am I?
Well, I sent that message to maybe 3 or 4 people at once.
To see who gets back to you.
That and I want to see different opinions.
Okay.
Well, I was like, who's responsible enough that it would be that has bought a vacuum that would care about the vacuum that they're buying, and I'm like, Mike Neighbors would care about the vacuum.
I don't know if you can see that. That's the picture I was sent. That's the Hoover that he was looking at in the
I
Canadian
bought it.
Tire.
How much
I
was
told you it was a good price, man.
It's great.
Yeah.
I hook up my fleshlight to it. It's fucking perfect. The other guy, one of the guys for actual appliances, when I was getting a fridge, I was talking. I believe I was talking to you, but my buddy Bob from Highway 8 Auto, my mechanic.
Yep.
That guy. I talked to my mechanic about all kinds of shit like that has to do outside of my life. You know.
Which is cool, right? I mean, ultimately, it was no problem for me to take a look at it. I've bought several vacuums in my life. I mean, I've been around the planet for a long time. I have a family. I've had, so I actually have some experience with that. So it made sense. I was just curious if other people just randomly texted their friends.
I don't think I text Pat about that vacuum because I didn't think he would be able to get up from the fucking toilet to text me. Piece of shit.
Yeah, but you send me. He sends me pictures. What is the most recently? He sent me 3 pictures of him wearing 3 different shirts. But
2.
2 different shirts, but didn't say there was no text with it, which one's better or what it's for. So I just picked one. I was the second one.
I was headlining Toronto Yuck Yucks. Did you said the plaid one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I just figured in general, you're asking me which one I like better, so I like the blue one.
He just
But like, there's no context. Like, I don't know. Maybe you're like, hey, I'm going to a funeral. Which one should I wear?
I
would
just
have said
assume you were
neither
smart
of
enough
them.
Do you think I was going to church, Patrick?
The Greek church to kiss the
Do it.
pictures.
doing background work.
You know who else I text the same exact message to?
Mace?
That way no, Russell.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And he got back and he picked the same one as you.
Nice. We have good taste.
You
Was
didn't
that the
happen to
show?
see. Oh, go ahead, Mace.
Sorry, I was going to say, was that
No,
the show where you got a standing ovation at the end, Manolis?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
'cause of the shirt.
awesome.
That's just
Because
shirt.
the shirt.
I was like, but as soon as I figured Pat and Russell know my character, so that I was like, it was like kind of a dressy shirt, and another one was just really plaid and just like the Duke Boys kind of shirt. So like, I figured they picked that because of my personality. It would make more sense. So yeah,
That's great.
Looking back on it all now, I really wish you'd texted Russell the picture of the vacuum, asking if this is the good deal. I think that would have been an interesting text. to
it's
receive.
weird because if I just text him like try to like if I need to actually talk to him, he won't. Like a lot of times
He
he won't
doesn't
get back to me.
respond.
But if I say I'm stuck between two pairs of sneakers, which color, he'll get back to me like that.
Because
Like,
it's not
no
a
prob-
conversation. It's just
I go blue or red, and he'll be blue.
This is Friday at 4:20. Our special guest is Mayce Galoni. He's opening this weekend, Levity Comedy Club for Mr. John Doerr. The show is finally going to happen at Levity. It's been booked twice before, had to be canceled because of this stupid freaking pandemic bullshit. And now it is finally going to happen. Omicron be damned. And it's this weekend. LevityComedyClub.com if you want to get tickets there's still a few left for Friday and Saturday night, but it will sell out. So make sure you get your tickets and you'll see our buddy Mace. All right, let's go, Patrick. Your turn to pick a topic on this Friday at 4:20. Pick a number between 1 and 12.
I'm gonna have to keep with the trend and go number 3, Mike.
Oh, jeez. In order. We had 1, we had 2, and there was. Oh, geez, I can't even find. Oh my God, there it is. Okay, here we go. Patrick, your topic on this Friday at 4:20. Oh, it's a Christmas question. Because this is our last show before Christmas. We're going to take a little break over the Christmas break. So I thought I would ask a Christmas question.
What are we doing? What are we taking a break from, Mike? We're a bunch of bums that sit down when we wipe our asses.
There's 6 days between each episode. Yeah, we're gonna need a break.
We need a break.
It's too crazy on the 21st of December. That's when all the.
You know what? You know what? Hey, hold on a second. All right. What you guys don't know is the stress I'm under coming up with these valuable and interesting topics. To come up with 12 of them every week. It's hard. It's not easy.
You have done an amazing job, actually. It's been 2 years. Of all these questions, they're always different.
You know what? There's been a few. I think sometimes when I'm reading them, I go, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what Patrick's going to say." So it's like it's one we've had before, or very similar.
Mhm.
But you know what? I also try to keep it seasonal, and that's what we're doing here. Because Mace is home for Christmas. Nice comes back to see his family, and interrupts making connections in L.A. and his big shot career moving forward to come back and see the little people. It's good of him. He's a good person that way.
Thank you.
Patrick, your question on this Friday at 4:20 will go around the horn. The last toy that you remember receiving for Christmas. You got to go way back now. I want you to think back. And that toy can be anything, but something that's more childlike than the normal stuff you would get nowadays, like socks and underwear and stuff. So the last thing you remember getting when you were a kid or as a young adult, the last toy you remember getting.
I don't know if it was the last thing, but definitely one of the last things I got was one of those electric IndyCar tracks.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like they got it was huge too. Like it would fill our whole basement. But you can the pieces snap together. You can design the track however you want.
Nice.
And yeah, there was 2 cars with the guns with the hand remote thing, and that was really cool. That's probably like age wise, I was probably one of my last years that Santa came for me.
Last year, yeah, like, when you're getting toys, right? Because then you get a little older. When you're suddenly you're 14, you're asking for a flashlight. I mean, that's, things change.
Yeah.
Standing
So-
when you wipe.
So, so you remember that being a really cool? So, because that was
Yeah, I
probably
still
just
have
the
it.
infancy. That was the infancy of remote cars too, right? I mean, remote
Yeah.
operating cars and stuff.
I still have it.
Really?
We'll set up at the club, do some races. We'll bet on it.
That's a
Wow.
great idea.
Did you ever
That
live?
would be wicked.
Put the like rod at the front of the car in the groove, and then lift
By
the back
itself.
tires.
Yeah, and then you do like burnouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, you ever do that?
Just
You know
with
what
a
we're
real
talking
car.
about?
No, I
Yeah.
don't. I have
And then you
no
drop
idea.
it and it takes off.
Okay. I understand. I think I understand the engineering behind it, but yeah, I've only done that in a real car, so I've never done it with a fake car. All right, Mayce, got to get you in here, buddy. The last toy you remember getting, and just I know I'm kind of goofing with you, but
Sure.
with the age that I'm reading on your face, that probably would have been last Christmas before. What was the last toy that you got, bro?
The thing is, I actually did get some toys, or at least a toy last Christmas. But it was like a puzzle, which is, I feel like a more mature toy.
Yeah, mature toy, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have such a shitty memory. I think I definitely remember getting the X-Men action figures from the like X-Men movies where they're all in like leather suits and stuff, and those were cool.
What would a young man do with X-Men? Like would you just like they would play fight with each other and shit? Like, what do you do
Well,
with
I don't know
X-Men
if you
action
caught the
figures?
way he said leather suits. I'm sure you can imagine what he was doing with them.
Oh yeah.
But always while sitting.
Yeah. I actually, so I have two older sisters, and I would just play alone with my superheroes a lot of times, but they had a bunch of Barbies, and my sister would always want us to play together because she also had some of the buildings or like the houses.
Right.
So we would play, and she would orchestrate the whole storyline. I never had any directorial authority, and so it would start out with something superhero-y, like her Barbie would be captured by Dr. Octopus, and then Cyclops would save her. But then she would make it so that Cyclops had to take Barbie out on a date after he saved her. But so it's just me essentially taking my sister out on a date in our basement. That's like, and I'd be like, I don't want to do this. This would be very unprofessional for
Kind of
Cyclops,
hot, bro.
Oh, that
Is this the same one that
awesome.
stands when she wipes?
Yeah, it's the same one. Same one.
This
been
explains a lot
torturing
about it, you
Mayce.
guys.
Torturing Mayce since 1989. That's awesome, dude. That's actually a really good story. That's so true, and I bet you so many, especially anybody who grew up as a little brother to sisters. I mean, you end up in that kind of netherworld where you have to, you want someone to play with, but they're gonna be, and they. Yeah, I totally get it. Manoli,
Yes.
yeah, stay with the show, buddy. Okay. What is the last toy you remember getting for Christmas?
There's a couple things that are in my brain that I remember. The one was I really did like I remember getting playing with the Hot Wheels tracks, and then but they didn't really work as good as they thought they did, and then eventually you just use the actual track to whip your brother with. You remember that? It was like it turned into a weapon.
That was a wicked weapon too, man. Those things hurt when you got hit with a Hot Wheel.
How did every kid know to do that?
Oh, we turned everything into a weapon. Manoli, come on.
And then there was I had a helicopter with a string on it, so if you pulled it, it was and this went, and I could get that thing so high, but it kept on landing on people's roofs, and I just gave up on that because give up using it because it's really awkward conversation to have with your neighbor. You knock on their house and, hey man, do you have a ladder? I'm like, yeah, why? It's like my helicopter's on your roof.
Yeah, they've probably owned that house for 20 years, have never been on the roof.
Yeah. So then
you're making them get on the roof.
the one thing that I think was basically the end of my childhood of toys. I used to be obsessed with kites. I loved kites. I don't know why. I just loved the idea of something flying really high and being away from everything, right?
Everything with you is high.
And then, but I had the white one with the 2 eyes on it. If you remember that one,
I remember
Mike.
that one. I remember
That was
that
classic, right? So
That
every
was.
time, so you use Mace, you use the whole string. You go as far as it can go, and then what would happen is on a windy day, sometimes this kite string would like break apart in the middle, and then you just lose your kite. It'd be fucking gone. You try to find it, but it would be like miles away. So you just buy another kite. But then that one, I tie the old string to the new string, so you go twice as high. Then,
Whoa.
so that one broke at the top. That one, okay. So then
Okay.
I did it. So I did it a third time. I bought a third fucking kite. I tied it together, and I got it all. And I was right at the end of the fucking. It didn't break, and I'm right at the end. There's no more string, and it's so fucking high, so high. I'm like, it looks like a plane could hit it. I couldn't believe it. And that's when it hit me, dude. It hit me. I'm like, oh no, I have to fucking wind all this down.
That's right.
It's gonna take me forever. And I was standing there by myself, and I go like this. I go, no, I can't do this. I let go. I let go.
It just-
I let go, and I'm
But
fucking
only
walked
out.
away. I walked away. Never flew a kite again for the rest of my life.
Feels like it should be like a story on like a reverse motivational, a demotivational speaker
Yeah.
would be like, tell the story about just give up.
I gave up.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
well,
started
It wouldn't have
standing
even
when I
been
wiped.
difficult. It just would have taken a few minutes.
A minute? No, dude, you have no idea how much string it was.
yeah.
It was like the spool that's on the end of the toilet roll. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's what you're same thing.
Yeah.
It'd be like doing this for hours.
You needed one of
Hours?
your power drills.
What?
You needed a power drill. Put
Oh,
something
that
in
would've
there
been
to
great.
Coil it up.
That would have been great. That was
Fuck.
before he had power.
That-
Listen, guys, always a great time. As you know, you can tell it's a great time because it has flown by so fast. It's already time for us to say goodnight. Oh my goodness, Mace. This weekend, you got some interesting stuff planned for your opening gig with John Doerr. You're gonna dig back into the bag of tricks. You got some new material. What's gonna happen on Friday and Saturday night, bud?
I'm doing magic again.
Excellent.
That's cool, right?
Excellent. We love the magic.
Yeah, no, I don't know, some new stuff. So there's some new stuff, but I want to do a good job, so there'll be old stuff, a lot of
Okay.
old stuff, but
Okay, all the stuff that you know is good.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to experiment too much.
Mhm. I know, I don't know, a little.
And is it true? Because I don't know which one of you was Manolis or Patrick, but one of them mentioned to me in your time in LA. Since your time in LA, you've become a prop comic. I didn't realize that. So is that's still a thing?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring multiple suitcases onto the stage. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, no, I have one joke that does actually rely on a prop, so I stopped doing it because it was annoying to take around. One time I wandered into an army recruitment fair to see if they would try to recruit me, and but no one did. They all avoided eye contact with me. And then I went up to one of the guys and was like, "Hey, could I like sign up for the army?" And he's like, "Well, you want to take some time to think about this decision?" And I was like, "Well, do you have any materials with you or something?" And he gives me a pamphlet, and I swear to God, on the back of it there was a section and it said "Contact us," and then it was an empty box with no information in it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The local outlet is supposed to fill their name and stuff in, but he's just giving it. It's all right. You take one of these that doesn't have any contact.
Yeah.
That's funny.
These guys are like, he looks like he sits when he wipes. No, forget it. Not ready for the
My
army,
favorite
bro.
moment with the prop though is with David Green. He used to do he used to have a joke about having a chip on his shoulder, but he would keep a chip. He would put it there right before the show on his shoulder under his shirt. So then he does I have a chip on my shoulder about blah blah blah, and then later he just casually pulls it out and eats it. So once we caught on that he was doing that, we'd see him at shows and we go, "Hey man, how's it going?"
Oh,
Or like right before he goes on stage, like, "Kill it, man." We'd slam down on his shoulder and it would crush the chip.
that's a prop comic nightmare. Oh my God. Mace, always great to catch up with you. Give our best and our love to Sophie when you see her. I hope you
Thank
have a
you, I
wonderful holiday here in the Hammer.
Thanks, Mike. You too.
Yeah. No, thanks a lot. We always enjoy having you on the show, man. It's always great catching up with our good friend Mayce Galoni. Manoli, who do you want to shout out some love to on this, our final episode before the new year, because one of us needs a break?
My mechanic, that's also Mace's Patrick's mechanic, and all my friends, Bob from Highway 8 Auto.
He's the go-to guy, man.
He's the dude. I'm serious. Like, the guy's amazing. He fucking.
Where is his auto shop?
It's it's what's it? Kenilworth? That's Kenilworth and Highway. I guess Highway 8. Yeah. Is that Highway 8?
Yeah, he was joking when he asked, but
I didn't know that.
Highway 8 Auto over on Kenilworth.
Wait. What Highway? It's also called what?
Well, it's
Main
Highway
Street.
8. Yeah, it's Main Street.
Yeah. Why does it have two names?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We call it
Well, it's
Main
like
Street.
Upper James turns into Highway 6.
We call it Main Street locally, but then as it goes out of town, it is Highway 8.
So. So it's Highway 8. All right, I didn't.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah. Anyway, I know.
Crazy.
You know what? You would have thought it was Mayce, the genius here, would have been the one answering that question, but no, I stepped up.
See that, Mayce?
Yeah,
I learned something today. Not
that's
from
how you do it.
Sorry, Manolis.
Patrick Coppolino, things are crack-a-lacking at Levity, so much so that you're busy as a person, as a human. You're a busy human being, and maybe you need a break. That's why we're taking a break. I don't know.
That's fair.
What else? Are we selling tickets yet for the New Year's show? Because I know that's a big deal coming up.
Yeah, so tickets are on sale for New Year's Eve, and those are going pretty fast too. Actually, I think that's going to will very likely sell out as well. So if you got no plans for New Year's Eve, it's always a good time. It's going to be awesome. We got Jeff Leeson's going to headline. Manolis is on the show, and then we got to figure out there might be a couple other guests, and there's a dinner, 3-course meal. You can choose between chicken, prime rib, or salmon, and then like veggies, sides, all that stuff, and then also comes with the midnight champagne toast, and it's gonna be fun.
Going to be a great night. Levity Comedy Club. Go to levitycomedyclub.com for all the details on the shows, on what's coming up, on things that are going on. Manola still wants to get one more word in, but because of that, I'm going to continue to talk as long as I possibly can. And hopefully the audience will realize the show's pretty much over, so they'll just start disconnecting.
I need Mayce.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I need you to talk to your girlfriend and get her to talk to Nikki, and we can go on a double date. I need... So because this could be my retirement plan. If I can get her pregnant, and I am golden. Yeah. Listen,
I'll do my best.
And she's funny. So she's funny and hot. So all I need to do is just get her pregnant. That's it. And no matter how much she hates me, I'll still love her because she makes me laugh, and that's all I want.
I'm just gonna step out here. Yeah, I'll just step in here, Mayce, and just let you know, whatever you do, if you're going to try to make this happen, don't let Nikki know that he stands up to wipe.
You don't think she wants to touch his chest? Look at these ruffles.
I don't think
I got ruffles.
Yeah, you got ruffles. That's right. That lounge lizard look is good. It's really in these days, buddy. Anyway, fellas, listen. Hey, it's been a great year. Thank you. I always love hanging out with you guys. And now I'm taking a much-deserved break, but we'll be back in the new year in 2022. Omicron be damned. Mayce, have a good time. Manolis, Patrick, always great catching up. But most important is you at home who tunes in, who checks us out on Facebook, who watches our old episodes, who share it, who like it, who tell their friends about it. Thank you. Thank you for making this something fun for us to do as well. And until we get a chance to talk to you again here on Friday at 4:20 in the new year, have an awesome Christmas and happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Happy holidays. Bye.